boys and girls. I hope you're having a lovely weekend, this bank holiday weekend, an extra day off school, hopefully, for all of you. Today's story is out of 2 Kings, and it's called Elisha and the Double Portion. And it's actually based in a time when Elijah, who was a great man of God and a great prophet, was coming to the end of his life. And he knew that his work on earth was finished. And God had told him to pick Elisha and tell him that God had chosen him to continue on with his work whenever Elijah had gone. One day, Elijah said to Elisha, "Stay here because I am going to heaven today." But Elisha said, "No, I will not leave you. As long as you're on this earth, I am going to stay with you." They walked to the town of Bethel, and again, Elijah tried again to get Elisha to stay, but he would not. "But I'm going to heaven today." "But I will not leave you," Elisha said. They walked to the town of Jericho, and again, Elijah tried to get him to stay. When they came to the river Jordan, Elijah hit the water with his cloak, and God made a dry path for them to walk across. Elijah then asked Elisha if there was anything he could do before God took him away. Elisha asked for a double portion of spirit. Elijah said that he had asked for a very hard thing, but nevertheless he would receive it if he saw Elisha at the time when he was taken to heaven. Suddenly, a chariot of fire appeared, which separated them, and a swirling wind. God sent a swirling wind to lift Elijah up into heaven, and his cloak fell to the ground. Elisha picked up the coat. He prayed that God would be with him, and he went to tell people about God. At the river Jordan, he hit the water with Elijah's cloak, and God made a dry path for him. He bumped into 2 men who told him that the water had turned back bad and nothing would grow. He cast salt into the water and it was healed. As he was going into Bethel, some youths mocked him. Elisha cursed them in the name of the Lord, and 2 bears came out of the woods and mauled 42 of them. God was with Elisha too, and he became a great prophet as well. So what can we learn from today's story? Well, although Elijah asked Elisha not to go with him, Elisha insisted and went, saying that he would never leave him as long as he lived. Because he was so faithful and he was there when Elijah died and was taken up to heaven, he was allowed by God to get that double portion of blessing. You don't have to be an adult to be faithful to God. You can show your faithfulness by praying and by obeying your parents, which are the things that God has asked you to do. By living for Christ, by living for Jesus when you're at school and when you're out playing with your friends. You do these things by not excluding other people from play, or by not being mean to people. These are all ways that we can be faithful to God. From the story, you can see that God rewards people who are faithful to him. He gives his best gifts to the most faithful servants.
Good morning, boys and girls. My name is Megan, and this week I will be doing our memory verse. So this week's memory verse is quite short, should be quite easy to remember, but we'll read through it a few times before we make it a little bit more difficult. So first I'm going to read through it, and then we'll read through it together. So, a faithful man will abound with blessings. Proverbs 28 verse 20. So this time we're going to read it all together. So after 3, 1, 2, 3. A faithful man will abound with blessings. Proverbs 28 verse 20. So one more time all together. 1, 2, 3. A faithful man will abound with blessings. Proverbs 28 verse 20. So this time I've made it a little bit more difficult because I removed some of the words. But let's see if we can remember it. So after 3, 1, 2, 3. A faithful man will abound with blessings. Proverbs 28 verse 20. So I made it a little bit more hard by removing some more of the words. But let's see how well you can remember it. So after 3, 1, 2, 3. A faithful man will abound with blessings. Proverbs 28 verse 20.
Hello, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Donna, and this is my friend Tom. Tom, what is the matter? You're still annoyed with me because I forgot to get you ice cream. Tom, I've said that I'm sorry. I've apologised. I've tried to explain to you what happened. I was in the shop and I ran into somebody that I knew and I stopped to speak to them because I hadn't seen them in ages. And then I was in a rush, so I completely forgot about the ice cream. I'm sorry. I'm not a very good friend. Tom, I know I'm not. I've let you down and I really am sorry. But you know something? We're all human and we all make mistakes. Everybody in the world makes mistakes. The only person who has never made a mistake is Jesus. He wants to be our faithful friend. He wants us to ask him to be our special friend. And do you know what? He will always be with us and always love us. And we can talk to him at any time. You would like Jesus to be your special friend? Tom, that would be wonderful. That would be fantastic if you asked Jesus to be your special friend. Boys and girls, if you would like Tom to ask Jesus to be your special friend, that would make us and all the leaders at EPC Kids so happy. We have all asked Jesus to be our special friend, and he has been faithful to each one of us. He has been with us in difficult times, perhaps over the last year. He's been with us when we're sick. He's been with us when we've been at work or school. He's been with us every minute of the day. Even when we're sleeping, God is with us. He is our faithful friend. And we would love it if you asked Jesus to be your special friend too. Tom, I'm really pleased that you're a lot happier. You say you've forgiven me? Thank you. Boys and girls, remember that we can all say sorry to God for the wrong things that we've done, and that he too will forgive us. Do you fancy going to get some ice cream, Tom? Let's go.
The world is searching for an answer, a ray of hope in a hopeless world. Who can we turn to? Where is our rescue? There is someone, he's the answer. He's the light and he light the way. His name is Jesus, and he came to save us. over the